Hello, welcome everybody for our next episode of Dragon Age. I'm really excited to see what our party here gets up to tonight. Before we jump in, I just want to remind everybody that if you would like to subscribe to the channel and give a player an advantage on a roll when they need it, you can do so at coffee.com/Raven. It'll have a cool little alert that'll pop up on the screen, and you can let us know in chat or in the message on the subscription or Discord or however you would like. Let us know who you would like to give the advantage to, and we'll get that on there. And now you can also gift subscriptions through Coffee as well. So cool stuff to check out. Also, I want to say a quick word about our sponsors, which the link will be in chat here in just a second. Fundamental RPG, it's a simple D20 system that's not tied to any genre, so you can use it to tell any type of story or play any style of game that you would like, anywhere from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between, which we have done on the channel with that. If you'd like the physical version, you can pick that up at Amazon, or if you prefer digital copies like PDFs, so you can use that on your tablet or your phone, you can pick that up at coffee.com/Raven. Just go to the shop and you'll find it there. Also, Die Hard Dice, they sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. You can find all kinds of really cool stuff at dieharddice.com. If you use the code BLACKFEATHER, that's all one word with a capital B, you can get 10% off your entire order, and I highly recommend checking out, right now they've got a Winter's Embrace Dire D20. I've been using it so far this season, and it is a lot of fun. It's a really big, heavy metal D20. And it looks really cool. So go check that out. And then if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. With all that out of the way, I'm going to pass it on over to Matt to introduce everybody and take it away.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to our Tuesday night game of Dragon Age. I am Matt, your friendly GM for this game. I say it in air quotes like that because we're doing combat today. Probably, most likely. We'll see. Yeah, hello. Hi. I'm moved into my new streaming space and like feeling it out. So let's go around and let's introduce some very awesome folks. We're going to start with Tatrick. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm a Tatrick. I'm Pat. You can find me doing other TTRPG things like this online here and on my channel mainly. And who am I playing? I am playing Calix. He is our Navaran mage who is just, sitting on deck, just staring at a skull, just trying to have a nice quiet time.
Yeah, that's the quiet times are over, I feel. Let's move on over to Anna. Hello, Anna.
Hello. I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, music worker, and TTRPG streamer, so if any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun. I am playing Mariana, who a few of the NPCs for some reason think she's a crow. I don't know, we'll see what happens.
We sure will indeed. Next up, we have Icy Historian. Hello.
Hello, friends. I am Icy Historian at Icy Historian, all of the places online that I feel like being found. I am taking a slight Twitter break, but when I return, you can find me on Twitter doing stuff. I play lots of games with lots of fine people. And I am playing Asala Polonius, who is a Tevinter Altus, and likes to talk a big game to big people. I think that's kind of what we like to do. And I am so hyped for tonight. I'm so excited. Yeah, that's me, team.
Woohoo! Oh boy, it's gonna be a fun night. Next up, we have Rafiki. Hello!
Hello, and welcome back, everybody. I'm Rafiki, also a Great Rafiki here on Twitch and Great Rafiki on Twitter. I don't do much except sometimes I stream on here and also on Thursday on another different channel that I co-founded called the GR Crew, where we play some TTRPG stuff. And you can follow me on Twitter to know when I do other things here and there, I will post it or mostly hype other cool people that are way more awesome than I am, like Raven.
Awesome. And last but not least, Nikki, hello.
Hello, you saved the best for last. Right?
I shouldn't. Yeah, obviously. Sure. No one else hate me. I love all of my children equally.
I'm Nikki, Janie Pot 7575 and places. I'm playing Valentina, who is a former NPC who is going to get her PC wings today when she does combat, apparently. Wait.
It's always a possibility.
Wait, she's an NPC in combat? That's not good, is it?
It'll be fine. Gonna be fine.
And yeah, you can find me places. I am not organized enough to tell you when and where, but just watch the game. It's going to be fun tonight.
You know what? On that, we fully agree. To recap briefly what happened last time, everybody got on a boat with, I think, maybe the best ocean-going captain ever of all time. Captain Antilles is great. Y'all had a good time. Y'all left from Kirkwall, heading to Antiva City for each various and sundry reasons. And y'all were able to interact with each other, disrupt each other's rituals, learn a little bit about each other, get to know a couple of elves that were there just on the deck, one of whom is an absolute dork of a guy named the Prophet, who I love dearly. I'm very happy with the Prophet and cannot wait. And also the other one, who eventually revealed himself to be my boy Solus, who teleported off the boat through some weird magic means that are probably best left unexplored. And as he did so, a massive roll of thunder rolled over the ocean. We're going to kick this off real quick. We're going to kick this off real great. Anyone who has magic training, roll me a magic check. We're going to be like, this is going to be a magic check. I don't think any of the focuses directly apply to it. Unless you would like to convince me of one. It is in fact like 3/5 of the party. But you know,
Barely a majority.
I want all of y'all to have a chance to shine, and to start that, we need to make things explode. I mean, provide opportunities for things to explode. Ooh, Pat, that might actually, hold on, let me see. Let's look. Once again, I don't know that any of the stunts directly apply on this one. Yeah, I don't know that any stunts will apply directly on this one, but if you want to pitch me on something, I know Pat got some stunt points there.
Is that under advanced spell stunts?
Yeah, any of those, if you any of those that you think could apply to feeling out the magical energy swirling around this boat in a way that's
there's no stop, take me with you stunt.
There isn't. But if you wanted to go that route, I mean, look, we can talk.
Just hold the door is all I'm asking.
So, all of y'all are going to be able to feel this. All three of y'all, including Valentina. All three of y'all are going to feel this. The very instant, like, there was some weird magic happening already. There were some magic currents flowing. Calyx was doing some stuff, and like the prophet had some weird kind of anti-magic thing for a second there, and then someone just teleported somehow, and then as the thunder rolls over the boat, all three of you magic people, and I think, yeah, all three of y'all feel this. Calix and Asala, y'all two specifically y'all feel something much more generalized or much more specific. Valentina, you because you have not had the training yet, I don't know that you have like the language to put in what you're feeling. So generally, something really magic started like bubbling and rattling down in the cargo hold. Like something magic was just like a switch got flipped. That's the general feeling. Calix and Asala, big veil ritual things just all turned on. And typically, in most situations, that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad. We don't like that, right?
The magic is magicking.
So what are y'all gonna do?
Valentina
Well, first of
say
all,
is magicking. That's what she's going to say.
I would like to call my travel agent and see if we can sort of make some different accommodations. But while I'm waiting for that to happen, I think Asala's gonna shoot a panicked look, but it's only the eyes, right? Like the rest of the face is still very like placid, but it's panic in Calix's direction.
Yes, you get a panicked look back, not at all restrained to just the eyes, but really just all over. I forget your friend the prophet, who just to recap, that symbol that we saw them have, was that the Watchman of Night?
It was.
Yeah, remembering that's who you were just talking to before this all happened. This is looking. What did you do?
Oh, what's going on, y'all? What is this? I don't recognize what this is happening.
Yes, I'm sure, Calix, that the Watchman of Night needed my humble permission to engage in whatever this happens to be.
Asala, did you move across the boat to Calix, or are you still like, are y'all yelling to each other?
I yelled at you.
All right, so
No, I
Adrian
absolutely
and
yelled
Mariana, apparently something magic is going on.
Can Valentina tell where it's coming from?
The hold of the boat.
Okay, well, since nobody's answering her, she's going down there.
Beautiful. Valentina exits the deck. Before we catch up to you, what's everybody else doing?
I mean, it just
Asala
met a
is-
creature of legend. So, I'm just done here.
That's, seems right.
Knowing nothing at all about magic and hearing this yelling behind me, I'm going to turn and watch with concern and figure out what they're doing.
What is, are you looking specifically at them or just kind of taking in the rest of the boat?
Hearing the panic from Calix, I think I'm looking straight at them, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Asala, Calix, what are y'all doing?
I'm like walking towards you, still like frantically, like, why are you talking to some old god worshiping Tevinter Rage? What are you doing here?
Asala is gonna be like sort of that couple whisper fight.
Mhm.
Like, what was I supposed to do? He's sitting there. It's not like he was hiding anything. And while like it sort of is a very like oh my god, Aaron Sorkin walk and talk, going down after following the NPC shopkeep.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause,
beautiful.
Like, yeah, like if anyone is going to save us, like we're just, I mean, maybe we'll just die faster and won't suffer for forever if we just go down close to it.
Okay. Adrian and Mariana, both of y'all give me a perception check. Seeing. specifically.
Perception okay.
Yeah. Perception seeing. Awesome. All right. Adrian, if you have a stunt you'd like to use, you certainly can. Let me know if you want to.
Yeah,
Pitch one out.
I do have 4 stun points, so I
You
have
do?
a few options available to me. Let's see. Would that be exploration stunt?
Exploration could help you out in part of this for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, I'm assuming I could use 2 points in efficient search.
Yeah. All right. Then we're going to start with Mariana. All right, Mariana. You are going to notice there are storm clouds building real quick. But also, the elf who was in the gray and green robes and who had been talking to some of the magic people and is now having a conversation with the captain is still up there by the wheel with the captain. The captain is panicking. He's still yelling about how he feels it in his knees and something's a coming, some storms are coming. He's yelling at all of his sailors to do things with ropes. The prophet is just standing there. He's not really panicking. He's not really acting like anything is terribly out of the ordinary. He has shifted his staff to one hand, and he has pushed back his robe, and his other hand is resting on a sword. Adrian, what you notice is, I don't think you notice that bit. You don't notice as much with the prophet. You notice he's calm in the midst of chaos with all the sailors. But this storm is not natural. It's moving too fast. Too much is building too quickly. Lightning normally isn't green, really, typically. And usually also, massive fog banks don't just show up out of the ocean, not right where a storm is brewing. And y'all are sailing right into it. Just directly into it. Mariana, you would actually notice being able to kind of take in the whole, looking more at like the deck of the ship and everything. The captain's trying to do things with the wheel and it's not moving anymore. Like the wheel just seems like locked somehow. Let's go down to the hold. Let's see what's going on downstairs real fast. So Valentina, you're going to get there first. And then just a little bit after you, Asala and Calix are going to show up. So let me describe what y'all see all around. You walk downstairs. Asala, you're going to notice that these are the same crates that you saw being loaded onto the ship. They are marked with the seal of the Inquisition on them. Wooden crates, maybe a couple feet long, kind of rectangular, crates. What's weird about them is they're all rattling, and this like sickly green light is kind of pouring out through the slats. And Valentina, you get in there first, and as you walk into the hold, one of them shakes loose enough that it drops, hits the deck, and the crate kind of splinters. And there's this weird like metal stone orb with kind of an attached pedestal, and it's like shooting some light out of it. And I'm gonna not look at Pat's panel real fast because he definitely didn't just look as though he knows exactly what I'm describing. Yeah, so that's what you see. This all looks fine.
Can I pick the board up and put it back?
Oh yeah, sure. What score do you have in magic?
Probably. I don't. Let me look and see.
Let's see what score you have in magic. You have a 4 in magic. All right. Yeah, so you go to pick this up and you touch it, and it's like touching a power conduit. Like it's not painful, but it's like you're getting just power just blasted into you somehow. This is more than you've ever like experienced. And that's when Asala and Calyx walk in. So let me ask the two of y'all a question. Asala, Calyx. How familiar are y'all with elven relics?
Probably not like an expert, but I don't know what kind of magazines I read on like skeleton watch duty.
Okay. Asala?
I would say Asala has probably heard
Okay.
a lot of stories, but probably not like, she's not like, Tevinter's answer to Indiana Jones or anything.
Okay. Let's see here. I want you to do it. Okay. We're going to do a cunning check for Asala then. If you have historical lore as a focus, maybe also religious lore, but probably more historical over religious if you have to take if you have both.
The only one I see listed is heraldry.
Okay, then just do a straight up cunning roll for me. I also do still legit love that the two of y'all both had heraldry.
I know. Listen, I guarantee it's gonna pay off every episode for the whole season.
I mean, you say that enough, and I'll make sure it does. Really. Okay, 14. You had seen a report across your desk during the whole breach crisis a few years ago. It was just this casual report from a spy y'all had in the Imperium or in the Inquisition that the Inquisitor and some of their people were keeping an eye out for these weird artifacts that they found in the wild, like in ruins and things, that were designed to reinforce the Fade in areas, and that that a lot of people who had heard about this were suspicious of it. Like, the Fade just is. And like, you can reinforce it, you can weaken it, but like, why was that a priority? It was just this big long list of questions about what these were. And there was like a rough sketch of them that kind of looked like this. Oh, and this NPC shopkeeper just holding one that's glowing. It's probably fine.
It's picked up fantasy uranium.
I think, ma'am, it might be best to put that down. As a general rule, the glowing green light, as alluring as it may be, is not good. Not good. Not good at all.
I'm just going to put it back in the box where it belongs.
I'm good. Good plan.
Supposed to be like a weird feeling when you hold this.
I mean, normally it's a not alive feeling. So I suppose, given the circumstances, you're having a better time. But we are probably quite quickly going to not be having a very good time.
Do you want to hold this for me while I get the box?
No, I actually, I don't know. I appreciate your organizational strategies, but I think it is probably, again, I will reiterate, best if we put it down.
Just clear. All of these boxes are vibrating, right? Like just
yeah.
one opened that she picked up.
One
but they're
rattled
all
itself.
vibrating and glowing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, so you're looking at those, right, Calix? You're kind of taking in the rest of them.
Yeah.
So, you do see that they were marked with the sigil of the Inquisition. That seems to be burning off.
Burning off like
That scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark? Yeah.
Is it like burning off to reveal like a different emblem, or it's just like the cheap paint that was
It's
on
more,
it is
it's
like
more the
dissolving
cheap
away?
paint and
Okay.
probably a sign of how well these things are doing, just in general.
So it's not the price tag. I thought it was the price tag.
I think Asala's going to take it from her. I think Asala's absolutely going to take it from her and put it down.
She wants to put
Ooh.
it back in the box because it came out of the box, so she's cleaning up.
Okay, Asala, you're going to take it from her?
She needs to put it down because Asala is trying to figure out exactly how many things she can blow up.
Huh.
Wow. And find a way to get out of the ship before it's at the bottom of the lake. Or
Take it as I'm putting it back in the box, as I'm trying to put it back in the box.
if you're putting it back in the box, Asala's not going to take it. But if you're standing there contemplating it, Asala is absolutely going to go and find some way for it to like be away.
Okay. So I need two rolls to happen here. Valentina's first, just a straight magic roll for me. Then I'd like Asala to go ahead and Asala and Calix to both give me a magic roll. If you have spirit focus, you can use that. If not, don't worry about it. But we're going to do Valentina's first, and then we're going to talk about what that means for y'all's rolls. But go ahead and make all the rolls.
I got
Okay.
11.
Okay.
A lot of stunt points.
That is
Yeah.
a lot of stump points. I'm gonna actually take a look at what some of these are because they might actually be useful.
I have to look at what they are. I haven't bothered looking into it.
I'm gonna
Oh,
tell
that's
you,
really
you should actually almost certainly take a look at the one in the advanced spell stunts that's called Disrupt Magic. You should really take a look at that one. I'm not saying that the GM would just like very strongly encourage it, but it might be really helpful.
You know what? I will do that thing, Disrupt Magic.
Cool. Okay. Good. I feel like that was the correct choice. All right. So Valentina goes to put this back in the ruins of its box. Asala and Calix. Asala, was this 14 yours or was that a previous one? Asala.
That's a previous one. I thought we were waiting for.
All right, go ahead and give me your
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead and give me your magic roll as well. Okay, cool.
I got 5 stunt points.
Hey, Asala, you might also want to look at that Disrupt Magic one. I'm just saying. You might want to
Yeah.
consider that.
Yeah, you know what? I was just looking at the list, Matt, and you know the one that I think is really meaningful for
Yeah.
me right now is Disrupt Magic. Weirdly, I know.
Oh, that's great.
Just had a thought.
So here's what happens in this moment. As soon as this artifact is set down in the crate, there is a flash of green light from every single one of these. Most of them are muted because they're still in boxes, although that's rapidly becoming untrue. Asala and Valentina are both mostly fine, courtesy of Disrupt Magic, where y'all kind of just naturally like, boom, no, to whatever's happening. Hey, Calix,
How am I feeling?
You ever been to the Fade?
I mean, I would have had to like during the harrowing or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Am I remembering my words right?
I believe so. Calix, you're in the Fade.
Oh, like physically in the Fade.
like all of a sudden you were standing in the hold
Oh.
of the ship. The next second you're on the deck of a different ship in an ocean in the Fade with the
this
Black
ship?
City in sight, the whole works. And what's weird about it, Calix, what's weird about it is there's a really big wolf standing at the prow of this weird ship you're on in the Fade.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of turns its head and its eyes are glowing green with like the smoke effect coming off of it and everything.
Mhm.
And it just growls at you and lunges at you and like punches you with its paw.
Mhm.
And you wake up flying across the hold of the boat you were normally in and shattering a bunch of boxes, sending relics flying everywhere.
I love that for me.
It's great. You're not going to take any damage from this outside of
No.
what I'm sure is psychic damage, probably of some sort, just, deep in your person. That's not normal or good. Asala, okay, Valentina, you saw Calix just kind of like go woozy for a second and then start to like collapse. And then his eyes snapped open and he went flying across the room. Asala, you felt like the tug of the Fade for a second. Like, you felt it before. So you felt that. And then Calix goes launching and you're just like, oh, okay. He didn't dodge well enough. We're going to go up to the top of the ship now for a minute. Leave our magic folks just having a grand old time. Atrian, you're standing there on the prow of the ship. Mariana's near you. Y'all both kind of hear this. You both kind of hear very quiet laughter that's like drifting in from the other end of the ship. And if you turn around and look, the Prophet is laughing a little bit after you just heard this kind of this like bang from down in the hold. And then a bolt of lightning strikes the deck. There's this weird flash, there's this ovally shape, and 4 skeletons come tumbling out.
Oh, lovely.
We're having a fight. We're having a fight.
Yay.
So, first fight for us. I'm very, very happy about all of this. We're going to be fighting some skeletons. Unless any of the magic people from the hold come up top, we're not going to worry about them. Y'all are kind of dealing with your own thing. So Atrian and Mariana are the 2 up top right now of our players. But the sailors are also going to be helping and hindering, I suppose. They're going to be getting in the way. So let's hold on. I looked at this a minute ago and my brain just completely checked out. Okay. Remind me, Rafiki, is there initiative and what should y'all be rolling for it? I just looked at this.
I do believe it is 3d6 plus your, if I remember with your dex, but I don't remember. Let's see what I can roll initiative on my end and see what happens.
Oh yeah, that works. Is there just an initiative button? Because if there's an initiative button, we'll do that.
So
Perfect.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is 3d6 plus your dex.
Cool. We'll do that. So Atrian and Mariana, go ahead and roll me initiative. Oh, you
Cool.
did. Awesome. Yay. Hooray.
Look at that.
Hey,
Yeah,
you have
now I'm gonna
stun points. Yeah. So do you want to use any of those for initiative based things?
I mean, I'm assuming it is a combatant stance, right?
Mhm.
Or is it?
This would be combat, I think, at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I would normally like apply them on my attacks, but
Yeah,
that's not exactly it.
you're
Applicable
also
here?
already the top of the initiative order, so like the one that I
Alright.
think you could use, like
I mean, with 5 stun point, there is always lethal blow, but that's usually when I hit.
yeah. Okay, so Atrian, you are up first. Let's say it would take to get across this entire boat. Would be like a full turn of movement could get you halfway. So if you
Okay.
took 2 whole turns, you could get across the boat, like
All
end
right.
to end.
All right. I'm assuming for some reason I happen to have my gear on me.
Oh yeah.
Because RPG magic.
It's a Dragon Age thing. Like you woke up this morning and thought, like, boy, this cutscene miite turn into combat.
That's
I'll be
right.
fully prepared.
In yards, because that's the HSM works. Are they between 16 and 32 yards?
Yes, they
All
are.
right. Then I'm not gonna bother to approach. I'm just gonna aim and attack with my bow.
All right.
That's my meta action attack. So, oops. They did not take into consideration the aim bonus, which would have been a +2, I think, for the minor action.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely gonna hit.
All right. And that is 4 stun point. So let's use that for fun stuff. In combat, I'm gonna use lightning attack. So do you want me to just roll that second attack with it at the same time
Yeah.
and roll damage?
Yes, please.
Yeah, now I roll 666. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that second shot is legendary,
Uh-huh.
and that will be for this many damage to Bony Boy over there.
All right. He is he's not happy. One of them just like really stumbles and kind of like goes down on one knee, kind of. You hit him real good.
Good. That's what I wanted to.
All right. Mariana, you're up next.
Seeing these skeletons appear in a flash of lightning, I think probably a string of curse words from her. I'm also going to pull out my bow and follow suit, just behind Atrian on that. I'm going to aim for the same one that he was firing at.
Okay. All right. That is not going to beat its defense. So that does not hit. Okay. All right. Next up is going to be some sailors. A couple of them are just going to gang up on one of them and do a little bit of damage off to the side. So one of them is being occupied. One of the untouched ones is going to move towards the door down to the hold. One of them is going. Ooh, yeah. Did we miss some bonuses on that?
Yeah, it seems that she doesn't have any bonus for some reason.
Yeah, it didn't put it on there. And I meant to
Uh,
aim, but
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
not my
right,
action.
right.
But yeah,
should
that
add-
should be +3 from my
Yeah.
Plus three?
dex.
Okay, that will hit. Go ahead and roll me
And
damage on that then.
Do you
Yes.
have also focus in bows by any chance?
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That will hit exact. The +3 will hit exactly.
Okay. I'll work on trying to figure out what's going on with that.
All right. So the one that's staggered gets another arrow and is really having a bad day. He is. If there was a condition of bloodied like there was in D&D for a bit there, he'd be close to that. So one of them is engaged with sailors. One of them is moving towards the hold and the third untouched one is moving up towards the wheel where the captain and the prophet are. The fourth one that y'all kind of staggered gets up, shakes himself off, and starts lurching towards y'all. He'll be able to get about halfway to y'all right now. All right. Then back up to the tippy top. Atrian.
All right. So they're still far enough away from me that I don't have to worry too much.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the same. I don't want him to get any closer, so whichever is getting close to me.
Okay.
Once
That's
again,
the same one
gonna-
y'all been hitting.
Gonna aim and shoot the bow. Oh, did not add the plot prop. I did not click the same thing, but
What just happened there?
yeah,
How'd you get a 0?
I don't know.
Reroll
Matt
that
is-
for me.
All right,
That's weird.
there you go.
That
Makes more sense.
Yeah, that feels better. Okay, that'll hit for sure.
All right, and there you go for
Awesome.
7 of piercing damage. And I'm just gonna take a quick glance at my fellow rogue and just hope that we're not gonna get overrun.
Okay, yeah, this skeleton is very hurt. Mariana, it's now close enough that if you wanted to move in and engage it with like melee weapons, you could.
Yeah, that's that's what I was thinking. I will minor action move. Check my table. Yeah, minor action move. And I'll step in and try and backstab it.
Awesome.
So that is. Hang on. That is dexterity stealth versus perception seeing.
All right. Oh yeah, that's absolutely gonna hit him. And if you want to do fun things with those stunt points, I'm pretty sure you can do terrible things to him.
It's a lot of stun points.
Hey, you could do lethal blow right now.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking, but do I need to? Yeah, I'll do lethal blow. Why not? And then I get a 1d6 with backstab as well, so I get an extra 3d6.
Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty certain this thing's dead. I want to see the numbers just to see how dead he is. But you get to describe how it's died. Oh yeah, it's dead.
Again, I didn't roll my extra 3d6.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll the 3d6.
15,
Let's see how
yeah.
much you kill him for.
15 total. And I had another stunt point.
Yeah.
I'll move 2 yards further towards where the rest of them are with skirmish with my other stunt point.
Oh, awesome. I love it. All right. So that one like collapses in a heap.
Yeah, so she
Something
steps up
rips.
and spins, jams, I guess knocks its head off, jamming her dagger upwards, spins around it, and keeps moving forward.
Very, very cool. We are about to go on our break. So let me describe what's going on with the other 3 skeletons on board the boat. One of them has managed to do a little bit of damage to some of the sailors. So a couple more have dogpiled him and they have him down and they're just laying into him with whatever's on hand. The one that's moving up to the door down to the hold has reached it and is like trying to like shoulder check the door open. And the one that was moving up to the wheel has climbed up the stairs. And this is right about the time that Mariana just beautifully executes the one y'all were working on, just in time for y'all to see the prophet pull out a beautifully wrought sword. I mean, just beautiful. If either you two, maybe Mariana, we can do rolls when we get back from break on this. No, in fact, let's go ahead and have y'all do the rolls now. Go ahead and do me a perception seeing, or if you have cunning historical lore, cunning religious lore, you can do that instead. So either perception seeing or cunning religious lore.
Yeah, it should be 12 for me. But
Okay.
yeah.
12 on perception and perception. Okay. When it flashes out, this sword is silvered. It is well kept, but it's old. And on the pommel, you recognize something that looks similar to swords that y'all have seen Templars use, but the shape on the pommel is just a little bit different. And he just like clean, one hit, head flies off the thing, and he has the sword resheathed. And he's still just laughing. And we're going to go on break. We'll be back in a bit.
Yay!
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll be back in 15 minutes, so go hydrate, grab snacks, anything that you need to do, and come on back in just under 15 minutes now to find out what happens next. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Dragon Age on Tuesday nights here on the Blackfeather Guild. We are in the middle of our first combat, but first, before we dive back into that, we are going to drop down into the cargo hold, where some stuff is happening. Calyx got into a disagreement with a wolf thing in the Fade that kicked him out of it rather rudely.
You all should have seen what he did to the wolf. You
Oh.
couldn't because you weren't in the Fade, but you should have seen it.
Is that how this story is going to go?
No one would believe it. No one would.
Who can say otherwise, Calyx? So y'all have heard some thumping and yelling coming from up top, and these artifacts are going a bit nuts. They're still rattling around, and Calyx is currently in a pile of them.
Oh, get off of the merchandise. She's going to try to help him up.
Yeah, Asala is absolutely going to be helping Calyx up.
Cool.
Is there? Where do these get loaded in? Can we shove them out into the ocean? Or
It should.
we don't want these on the boat, right?
It's not merchandise.
No, it's not merchandise. Is there any sort of like, I don't know. Well, we're below deck, so anything that we open up, water is going to come in.
The hatch to the cargo hold is above you. That's how big cargoes get loaded in, is through a hatch in the ceiling.
Is there any sort of do I remember seeing any sort of like winch lifting mechanism on the boat, or would that be?
There's one on the dock. There was not one on the boat.
We need to get very far away from these.
I think we're a bit limited by the size of the boat.
Was there a lifeboat situation at all? Anywhere?
Yes. There are lifeboats up on deck.
Great.
How many of these radioactive orbs are there?
There are, if you take the time to count, you can get an exact number. There seems to be like 20 to 30.
Okay, we can carry more than one each. We pick them. It's instead of us climbing into a lifeboat with who knows who on this boat and rowing to God knows where, let's throw these orbs off of the boat. Just grab them up by the handfuls and throw them overboard.
You're suggesting
He's
In
picking
this
them up
moment.
as he's doing.
with your whole face that we pick up the ancient elven artifacts that did or did not just transport you to the Fade and throw them overboard.
Why don't we just get those?
Yes,
nice-
I'm absolutely suggesting that because I'd rather not let them keep charging up and see what they could do after they've had some time to wake up, if that's what it did.
Let's just go up and get those nice adventure types to come take care of it. That's what they do.
See, not no, but we don't, how much time do we have here? Because it seems to be dissolving the crates that they're in. And the
Yeah, so-
crates are made of wood and the boat is made of wood.
Fair. All right. Yes.
He's trying to pick up like 4 or 5 of
Yep,
these.
I think
at once.
that Asala is realizing that, we will either hang together. If we do not hang together, we will certainly hang separately. And I think she starts trying to move the ones in the move them in the boxes without touching them.
You said Valentina's just going to be confused for a moment because she's not familiar with this, and then she's just going to like pick up a few of them too, or try to help.
They're very magic. They're doing some magic thing that none of us want it to do, and somebody else does, and it's probably bad. So we should get rid of them.
Yeah, they're like tingly kind of.
Yes.
All right, so y'all are going to start moving these artifacts by hand to the deck of the boat. I love every bit of it. Let's see here. Just give me a Constitution roll. All three of y'all. Just give me a Constitution roll real quick here. Let's see what sort of weight y'all can manage.
Don't know why we couldn't have just left this to the adventure types. This is
Well,
what they-
if you take some up to go get them, then that's less of things that they have to do.
Okay, where's this Constitution button? Here it is.
I'm assuming heraldry doesn't help in this particular situation.
I'm gonna give you something that'll be useful for today. It's just not gonna be lifting boxes.
What about my experience from lifting boxes from my actual job?
Yes, I will give you a +2 to whatever you roll for that. You've lifted boxes before. You know how to lift from the knees.
Oh my gosh, I got an 8.
You're the
Well, you
warrior
got a
of the
10
party.
then, so good. All right, these aren't light things, and y'all all are spellcastery types. So y'all can each get, if you're carrying ones in a box, you can get one. If you're picking up some of the glowy radioactive ones just lying on the floor with your bare hands, you can get 2.
I'll
What
take
if
2.
what if we were like picking up to putting them into like the crook of the elbow, trying to like I'm picturing like trying to like hug like 5
Taking
snowballs.
groceries and only want to make one trip.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
We're on a timer here. These
I'm absolutely willing to let Calyx do this, Pat.
Mhm.
Are you willing to expose Calyx to this much void energy or fade energy? Because I'll let you do it. It's
Let's
just
do it.
you might pay for it later.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. What's
So-
the worst that could happen?
So you can get like
In this
4 of
famous-
these that you broke out of their boxes up under your arms. All right, y'all start moving up. Oh, I love how these things come together. You go to open the door to the deck. Who's in the lead? Wait, which of you 3 is in the lead?
If nobody else will, Valentina will open the door.
All right, beautiful. Holding 2 of these unboxed, glowy radioactive things in her hand, she somehow manages to get the door open. There's a skeleton in your face, and it is very mad.
Can I throw one of the globes at the skeleton?
Oh my god, yes. Jeepers Christmas. Give me a dexterity roll, I guess.
Oh goodness. I have like 0 in dexterity.
That's range. Unless you want to just like use it like a club, then that would be strength.
That's the 0 as well. So she's just going to throw it at me. What else
I
do you
love
do?
it. I love every bit of this.
Skeleton creature, you throw it, whatever you're holding at it. That's what I would
Alright.
do. What did I get? Submit.
A 10. Because I think this is hilarious, I'm gonna let it hit. It would normally miss its defense, but I think this is great. So you just yeet one of these at the skeleton in your face. It like hits its chest. It drops the sword it had and just grabs it. And the whole thing starts glowing green. And then the skeleton explodes. Like just literally like Death Star blows up. And that elven artifact falls out of its hand, lands on the little legs of its stand, and starts pulsing.
Oops.
Let's flip back. Now y'all are all kind of here. There are now 2 more skeletons. One is dogpiled by the crew. Oh no, the other one died. That's right. The prophet killed it real quick. So y'all come out on deck with these things. The prophet leans down from above and just goes, I wondered if those would turn on. The wolf must have done that. Trickster bastard. And then his head pops back away from the rail and he goes to stand by the captain again. What are y'all doing? All 5 of y'all are up here on the top of the deck. Things have gotten weird.
Sorry.
I'm running to the edge of the ship, like trying to balance these 5 like softballs in my arm.
All right. You're going to be able to get there.
I'm still just planning on dumping these into the sea.
This is a wonderful plan and I fully support it. All right. Calix gets over to the edge and just Mariana and Atrian, y'all can see this pretty clearly. He just throws 4 glowing green things into the ocean. Ooh, Atrian, you did all that survival or exploration stuff with your perception before the...
Yes, I did.
So you're going to be the one that gets to notice this. There's a little bit of a change in the wind.
Oh.
You know, the one thing that you've never experienced, and like you haven't been on boats much, so maybe this is normal. Time. Yeah. Do tornadoes happen on oceans much?
I mean, I don't know. Do they?
Do glowing green tornadoes happen on the ocean much? That's the question that immediately pops into your head.
I mean, mostly like I'm assuming like, glowing green things are just not normal.
No, typically not in your experience.
I mean, tornado happen. Glowing green tornado, probably not. You know, I'm not an ocean expert. I've seen the water. I've touched the water before. I'm on a boat now. That's the extent of my experience with the ocean. This is not normal. I'm just gonna give the most elvish, what the fuck is this? While looking at tornado.
Do you say that out loud?
Oh, heck yeah.
From behind you, you're looking out the front of the, like you feel the change of the wind, you turn and look and you see this glowing green tornado. From behind you, a good little ways behind you, you hear the prophet just go, yes, this is the result of plans gone horribly awry. I would advise everyone to finish any efforts they were taking to save our lives quickly. And you see him just kind of like take his staff and like plant it and just kind of lean into it. And he's still smiling like a son of a bitch.
So will these glowy things, they stay on the ship or off the ship?
Listen, you have to start carrying more. We have to carry at least 4 at a time, at least.
One of the sailors looks up from their dog pile on the 4th skeleton and just goes, we're busy.
I think Isala is going to dump, as she dumps the crate into the ocean, is going to turn to the prophet and say, if at this moment, noble watchman, if you had perhaps a suggestion as to what my compatriots and I could do in this moment to ensure our continued longevity, I would be more than happy to hear it.
His eyes kind of flash with what could best be described as rage for a moment. And then he's smiling again and just goes, the only suggestion I have for you, Altus, is that you and your companions never call me that watchman that I murdered ever again.
Can I throw the second globe at his head?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. Please roll a dexterity.
He's a little annoying.
He is. Look, there's a reason that Solus's name is on my board, not his.
Oh my gosh, a 9.
You yeet this in his general direction. It makes it over the railing and then seems to like spin in midair, and you kind of lose track of it, but you don't hear any noise. You just hear a cackle. It lands. It's about all you know. Because you're basically like down kind of below him, and you just go like, "Her."
Well, I'm just gonna go get some more.
Cool.
I'm gonna get 4 of them.
That is what we're supposed to be doing.
Same, basically, like Isalas like shrugs, runs, grabs more, and begins just yeeting.
All right. Atrian, Mariana, what are y'all up to while all this madness is happening?
Any remaining bone boys? Any little
There's one
skeleton?
being dogpiled by sailors.
Oh. Well, they seem to have it handled. I'm gonna turn towards Marietta, which I'm assuming is just as confused as I am.
Yeah, just watching this chaos of
Yeah.
people throwing stuff off the side of the ship, blowing things off the side of the ship.
Have I ever seen those things before anywhere in my life? I'm a wee bit old.
Okay. Do you have under cunning? Do you have historical lore, anything like that?
I have cultural lore.
Perfect. Do that. Roll that for me. Yes, roll that for me.
And there's a +2 because it's a focus. So
Okay. So
it
12.
would be 12.
Okay. I don't know if any stunts would apply to this. Okay, a 12. These are elven, clearly.
Right.
They are old. They're very old. So some things have been showing up on the kind of the black market recently, within the last few years, ever since the end of the breach crisis happened. Ever since that all concluded, a bunch of elven artifacts have been showing up on the black market, including some things that were rumored to have been used by the elves to do some work with the Veil and the Fade, that the Inquisition had a hand with, and then they just all kind of turned off, and then they were sold, as these things typically do, as things kind of happen. That's, you can kind of make those little connections just knowing your background. So these are elvish, might be tied to the Veil,
Okay.
and they're old.
Would I know if they were used to protect or to use the veil?
Ooh, with that role, I don't know that you would know that unless Atrian is familiar with artifacts. Unless
No.
elf artifacts are his deal. So no, they just interact with it somehow.
I'm just gonna turn toward the very obnoxious prophet, and he's an elf boy, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask him, Melvin, what are those? Tell me now.
He's just gonna call back to you in Elvish, or in Elven, and say, ancient tools of a wolf, my friend, sadly misused by the rest of these people.
Are they here to protect us, or should we get rid of them?
In this moment, they're actively trying to eat you. It really all depends on who the us is in that question.
All right. Well, knowing that, I'm just gonna leap off and go help our brainy squad over there as much as I can.
All right. Mariana, what are you gonna do anything? You gonna hang out?
Yeah, if I see my fellow rogue go running over there, I will as well. I can carry crates.
Cool.
If I've noticed this tornado thing coming at us, looking at this ship, how storm-worthy does this ship look?
Boy, what a good and interesting question you have now asked. So here's what worries. It's not necessarily the tornado. That's weird and green and not natural. But you know, this is Thetis. Weird things happen all the time. It's the boat seems fine, I guess. It's not a great boat. It's not the best one you've been on, but it also like it's been dry inside, which is nice. What worries you is that the captain has stopped wrestling with the wheel and is now kneeling in front of it in a position of prayer.
Okay. As I'm running towards this group that is carrying stuff, glancing towards the shoreline, how far are we from land?
There is no shoreline in sight.
Great.
We're fucked.
Okay. I'm gonna run towards the group, and whoever I come up to first, I'm happy to help, but this boat isn't gonna survive whatever that is.
Do you point it out?
Yes, I do. I feel like the giant green tornado is an important thing
Okay.
to point out.
Okay, I need to roll a die real fast. Hold on 1 second. Is this how that works? That is how that works. Okay, cool. Asala is the first person you run up to, and you point out the green swirling tornado of death. And you say all that, like, we're probably like, Asala. So this is weird. Normally, fate portals are kind of circular in shape, or ovoid, or spherical, or big burning holes in the sky, or, you know, anything normal like that. If someone made you like bow to your head, told you to identify this green tornado, you would have to say that the only way you could describe it is a badly made fade portal or a very well made fade portal. Neither of those things are good for you in this moment when the boat's going right to it.
Cool. So, I'm gonna make a little confession. My fabulous game storyteller friend, player IC historian, is not entirely sure what character Asala would know about the construction and form and destruction of fade portals. Yes.
So what you would probably you would be aware that there are ways to make them. Tevinter does these things a little bit different than the rest of the civilized world, in that Tevinter, by and large, is not usually afraid to just like cut a throat to get the power to make the portal. There's this great and legendary story where 7 really, really powerful Tevinter mages gathered a few thousand slaves and executed them and burned the city of God to the ground in the process, and thus cursed all of Thetis forever and made the first blight happen. Now, that might just be the chant. Now, as a good Teventer mage yourself, you understand that largely the Chantry has spun that story widely out of proportion. Look, yes, bad things happened in the past, but people have said the city was already black when it happened, and it's not our fault. We just wanted to explore more and maybe make ourselves gods, but that's not the point.
They shouldn't have built their city out of straw. You know what I mean? Like, it was a fire hazard. The insurance company was very clear.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just so so what you know about portals is they take power. You can either find a weak part of the veil and punch a portal through that to use less power. You can use runes, you can use like magical like foci nexus points in the world to make it easier. Casting the magic to make a portal this size in the ocean, where no one has really reported any tears in the veil in a long time, would take a lot of power. Like, a lot of power.
Like 30 magical ancient artifacts worth of power.
Yeah, look, something that had been imbued with a lot of interest and energy by people for several years, that had lived in nexus points for a while. Yeah, these could all suddenly become very, very critical and important things. And you know, the long and the short of this, Asala realizes they're on much more of a clock than they thought. Because this is also a tornado, and the wind is whipping up, and the sails still exist.
Cool. Yes. Great. Do these things look like they can be destroyed, the little Orby Jimmy Jams?
Oh, everything can be destroyed if you try hard enough.
Okay.
Okay, that was a little bit flip. I apologize. Let me give you a more exacting answer on that. Asala would, from having seen a few of these very up close, yes, you could absolutely destroy one of these. The problem is, think of these more as old chemical batteries.
Okay. All right.
So if you take, or even better, ancient capacitors. So if you take them apart wrong, it goes poorly for you. If you take them apart carefully and with time, they are totally fine to disassemble safely. You are lacking one of the critical components of that equation. And honestly, unless you were going to do something where you wanted to try to magically dissipate the energy somehow, the ocean is the best bet.
Great. Cool.
Like, it's maybe not conducive to a lot of native fish life, but
you
the
know,
quick and easy way is get them off the boat.
Yeah. Great. I think Asal's going to continue then with the dumping. I'm sorry for that. I appreciate you explaining that to me.
Oh no, it's fine.
Having my brain put that together.
I have to make sure that I am always remembering that I have different levels of knowledge of lore than everybody else. And I have to be, y'all need to call me on that if I'm saying stuff that y'all don't know. I do not mind. Yeah, so y'all keep moving with all 5 of y'all working at it. Y'all are going to be able to get these off. Weirdly, there were 35 of them was the actual number. which is probably an important magic number. I don't remember how much numerology factors into magic in Thedas, but I like it, so I apply it to every magical system I get my hands on. So y'all get them all off. The last one, which of y'all throws the last one overboard? First person to call it gets it.
Me.
All right, perfect. Valentina yeets the last one overboard of the ones that were not, that were out of the hold. Y'all are getting really near the, tornado portal. And Valentina, as you turn away from the rail, there are still two of them left. And you can tell because they're glowing and pulsing still. There's the one that you threw at the skeleton that landed on the deck and started pulsing that no one's picked up yet. And there's the one that you tried to throw at the prophet that has landed on the upper deck and is just sitting there pulsing. And those are the last two. Y'all have thrown 33 overboard.
What's the closest one to me?
The one that you threw at the skeleton, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to run for that one, and I'm going to point out the other one.
I'm
Cool.
pretty quick, so I'll head for the one up above.
Awesome.
Now that we're all kind of up on deck and noticing that tornado, the prophet you mentioned was leaning pretty heavily on a staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that like pointed in any specific direction, like towards the tornado?
It's more like he planted it and then was leaning on it like it was
Okay.
supporting him.
Got it. So it's in my head. So it's not that the steering wheel's not working because he's steering the ship towards the fade. Was where my head went.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
In fact, if Calix is gonna take a minute to like look at that, like he's still like grinning and laughing and having a fun time. That's not reflected in his eyes. There's worry in his eyes. He's just being a dick about it.
Okay.
Okay, so Valentina, we're gonna get to you. You're gonna get to the first, Mariana. You're gonna be right after to the other one. Give me a strength check, both of y'all.
Do I have to?
I mean, if you want to try to pick it up, yes. If you don't want to try to pick it up, no.
String.
This would be if you had a focus in might, that would apply, but I kind of doubt either of y'all two do. Just because it does not seem like something your character would have chosen as a focus, specifically.
Oh my gosh, this hates. I fire roll 20. Roll 20 is fired.
Well, in this case, I'll be honest, y'all were unlikely to get that. You go to pick it up. Both of y'all like go, you grab it. Valentina, you feel that like power surge feeling that you felt several times in the last few minutes. And like you were carrying a couple of them earlier, Valentina. This shouldn't be a problem. It's not moving. And Mariana, the same thing's happening to you. It's not moving. And Mariana, you're on the top deck and the prophet's right there. And he just looks at you. And he's got a very serious look on his face now. He's not laughing anymore. And he looks at you and he says, unfortunately, those have been deployed now. Have you ever seen what a lightning rod does during a storm?
I'm going to step back from it very quickly.
He just shakes his head and he goes, no. If you want to live through the rest of this night, you and your busy little bees need to huddle around the safe spots. Or none of us are making it home alive.
So this
And-
is a safe spot?
Those two are doing what they were meant to do. Percussive maintenance seemed to work well on them. drove the wolf right out of them. Huddle around the light, children, and we'll make it through the dark. And then he looks back up at the tornado and does not acknowledge that y'all had a conversation. Like, it's like y'all weren't talking. He just like looked at you, said all that, and then looks away.
So just to clarify, he was saying huddle around these being the light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he say
Yeah,
that
they-
loud enough for everyone or just me?
Just you. And they are now glowing. Like, the pulses have now sped up to the point that it's just a constant glow. And you can kind of see there's like maybe 3 feet out on a side from the orb is now just a consistent green glow.
Okay. And the wind is picking up.
Oh yeah, it's getting gale forcey.
I'm going to I kick the captain in the side of his leg real quick and tell him, do your job. And I'll shout over the railing towards the sailors, drop the sails. And then at the people who I was helping. Weird guy here says, huddle around the light.
The captain, when you kick him, he kind of like tumbles down. He just goes, I did my job as best I could. We did all the stuff with lines. We're in the hands of the maker now, ma'am. Everybody below decks. This is the best chance we're gonna get. And the sailors like leap away from the one skeleton they had pinned to the ground and all beeline for the below decks. And the captain just goes like, I don't know what that guy's telling you about light. That sounds weird. But I'm gonna go, and if we make it through this, good luck. I hope you'll give me a 5-star review on the other end. And he vaults over the rail and goes with his crew below decks. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Valentina's right where she was. She's not moving after hearing that.
Cool.
Grudgingly gathers around the light.
Well, lower or upper?
Whatever one's closer to where she is.
Okay, probably lower. Atrian?
I'm gonna cuss at the cowardly Shem, and I will side-eye the darn prophet because he probably, had a few things to do with this. And I'm just gonna gather next to a light.
All right. Calyx?
Hey, you know what? He may not make the whole voyage. I may or may not be responsible for it.
Fair enough. Calyx?
I'm going for the light that's near the prophet.
All right, so Mariana and Calyx are up top. Atrian, Asala, and Valentina are downstairs. We're gonna get a little bit cinematic here, friends. We're gonna get a little bit cinematic. We're in a cutscene now, is what's happening. The wind has picked up in an insane way. I want y'all to picture in your mind some of the scenes from the movie Twister, but on an ocean. Like for the Thetan equivalent of a dolphin goes flying by the boat at one point. Like instead of the cow from Twister, it's a dolphin.
Is it a shark?
Maybe a shark. I don't know what Thetis has in the water. None of the games have really explored that. It's probably not great. And then the boat itself lifts off. And y'all are still being pulled towards this portal. The ship gets caught in the edge, and y'all are just starting to be like rolling around it. But where y'all are, near the light, you don't feel it. You don't feel the motion. It's like you are protected from whatever magic is doing this. You see like the skeleton that had been pinned down by the sailors, like struggled to its feet and then got ripped off the deck. The sails start like getting shredded by things getting thrown through them. Everywhere, like the entire ship starts to glow with this like green light. Like little lines of it are running through the ropes and over the sails and up and down the mast. and you start to circle in. Down on the lower deck, y'all hear the ship creaking. You can hear some like prayers and cries from the sailors down in the hold. And as the ship breaches through the wall of the tornado, Asala and Valentina, y'all get a look at something. It's this wide angled view. Asala, you know that this is the fade you're looking at. Actually, all 5 of y'all are going to be able to see this. It's this wide angle view into the fade. And you see this massive floating island that's just covered in an ocean. Calix, you recognize the ship that you got pulled to earlier at kind of like the dead center of this floating landmass in this void. All of you can see for a moment as y'all are being flung around. You can catch a glimpse of the Black City at one angle as you're flying through. And the 2 of you on the upper deck, Mariana and Calix, the Prophet is not inside the bubble of light. He's standing there. His staff is still upright in the deck, and he's not touching it anymore. Like, it looks like it's maybe like wedged into the boards and is standing on its own. His cloak, his green cloak, has been flung open, and he's got a symbol on this doublet that he's wearing. Are either of y'all very familiar? Calix almost certainly not, but maybe your character, just from what you described, probably not, but Mariana might know this. Are y'all familiar with different divisions of the Chantry? Again, Calix probably not, but if you have a good background reason for it, please tell me. I don't want to make that assumption. Okay. Mariana?
Probably have a general idea,
Okay.
especially if I've done jobs related to that.
Okay, then yes, you almost certainly recognize this. It is a dirty, like ripped open doublet. It's got like stains on it and everything. It looks like it went through hell. But you can still make out the symbol that's on the chest. It's the symbol of the Seekers. And he has his sword out in his hand, and he is pointing it down into the mouth of this portal, and he is screaming in Elvish. Atrian, you can probably hear some of this vaguely over the rushing wind and everything, that he is screaming in Elvish that the wolf isn't going to win, that he will reclaim home for him and his people himself. And he is screaming this over and over and again, that the heart of Arlathan is beating. And it is not the wolf's toy this time. There is a huge flash of green light. Calix, you specifically feel like this weird flare of pain on your chest. Everybody else, this light flares green, and everyone is knocked unconscious. The screen goes green, then white, and then fades to black. And it's just quiet for a minute, with this quiet sound of laughter kind of trailing off. Except Calix, you don't hear laughter. You hear the hunting howl of a wolf. And then y'all all come to slowly to the sound of seagulls. And when you slowly open your eyes and kind of sit up, y'all are in the still shockingly mostly in one piece, wreckage of the boat on an island. And there's a couple of people in some pretty nice sailory clothes that are approaching. And one of them, who looks very much like a captain, like a pirate captain, just as y'all are all starting to wake up, he like vaults over the rail of the ship and lands. It just goes, you know, you're supposed to pull into port, and anywhere else here on Estwatch, it's trespassing. You 5 are under arrest. And that's where we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Oh boy. Woo. Did y'all have fun? Did y'all have a good night?
Well, we survived.
Yeah.
It's a plus.
I mean, that's always a plus.
All right. We are going to close out tonight by going back in reverse order the way we introduced everybody. Tell me your favorite part. Tell me where we can find you next, and then anything else you want to promote. So we're going to pick it up with Nikki. You're first.
No.
Yep.
No. I'm so bad at going first.
I believe in you.
Okay. I think I'm on this channel next. What's today? Yeah, I'm on this channel next on Thursday. I'm supposed to think of my favorite part. I'm trying to think because the whole thing was fun. I don't know.
All right. Well, keep thinking. We'll come back to you for that one. Rafiki, what was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you want to promote?
Hi. So one of my favorite part, honestly, involved our tree geniuses going full trees 2 just down below. That was hilarious, and I loved it so much. And I'm super excited to see what's gonna happen there on S-Watch. It's gonna be fun with pirates, and we're gonna be in trouble. That's amazing. I love it. But outside of this, and outside of here, with these wonderful, amazing people, for which I'm very, very thankful to be playing with, you can mostly find me on the GR Crew channel. I should be, if everything goes as it should, we should be back this Thursday for next episode. And otherwise, it's just, on Twitter, you can find me there. There may be some announcement for an upcoming thing happening soon on social, so stay posted.
Awesome. Next up is Icy Historian.
Hello. Once again, I am Icy Historian at Icy Historian, all the places on the internet that I feel like being found. I am taking a social media break. You can find me next on Sunday on Pat's channel for Urban Shadows. And, doing other random stuff. My favorite part tonight is it's really kind of a future bright spot. My favorite part tonight was planning in my head all of the different ways that I'm going to murder the prophet. So I basically have categorized a list, and I have organized it in terms of both lethality and creativity, using most of the items currently on my desk. So that should be fun. I think in general, my favorite part was I do like the prophet character. I think that's very interesting. And I just liked everything tonight. It was really good. But yes, no, there is going to be, yes, I'm going to end this campaign with the best part of that character underneath my fingernails. So there we go. Other than that, I think, that's me. Yeah, good times.
All right. Archival Dust Bunny, what about you? Favorite part, where we can find you next? Anything else you want to promote?
Yeah. So I'm Anna, aka Archibald Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. Queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archibald Dust Bun. Wednesday nights, you can find me on Valdrin's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, playing the Animorphs-themed Blades in the Dark campaign. Alternating Sundays, you can find me either on Gunnar Hawking's Twitch channel playing D&D in a world with 1930s technology, or on Guild of the Phoenix playing Cyberpunk Red. Monday nights, you can find me on Weave the Tale playing Alien. Our premiere has been pushed back to next week, so make sure you don't miss that. You can also find me in Response Team Omnicron, which is the Lancer actual play podcast. Our first episode has been pushed back a little bit, but should be live in the next week or two. Wherever you find your podcast, follow us on Twitter to get updates on that. My favorite part, I have to disagree, it was not the Prophet, because he is a seeker and he is a danger in my line of work. But my favorite part was seeing our the intellectual half of our team do, all the intellectual things while the rogues took care of business. Yeah, I think that's it.
Loved all of that. And Pat, favorite thing where we can find you next? Anything else you want to promote?
Yeah, I'm Pat. You can find me next on my channel, which is Tactric. When IC Historian mentioned, us and Nikki and some of our other friends will be playing Ruby Tooth Bay, which is our 2nd edition Urban Shadows game. And my favorite part was it was absolutely getting yeeted by the Dreadwolf.
Oh, that's not going to have any consequences ever at all.
Why would it?
Nope.
This is fine.
It's fine. All right. And I am Matt. Oh boy, this whole thing was great. I got to admit, I was really genuinely not expecting the Magic Trio to very much turn into a slapstick sketch comedy troupe down in the hold. But you'll love to see it. And the way that our two very efficient rogues just took care of business up on decks. I'm very excited to see you five actually get into combat as a unit and see what happens. I don't think I'm prepared for that, but I'm excited to see it. And you can find me. I'm a content creator of various stripes. You can find me on my Twitch channel, Fifth Draw Live, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time. We're playing Void Train right now, and it's pretty great. That's a wild game. I have a podcast called Hard Reboot, where me and two friends take a public domain property and give it a fresh coat of paint. And I have a shop called Forge of Destiny, where I make different props and do custom commissions for props and things like that for people. Yeah, and now we're going to kick this over to Raven, who's going to tell us about our sponsors.
Fantastic. That was amazing. I really enjoyed watching all of that. We're going to go on a raid here in just a moment. Before we do, though, just a quick word about our sponsors. Fundamental RPG. It's a simple D20 system. It's not tied to any genre, so you can use it to play any style of game or any type of story that you would like, from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. You can pick up the physical copies on Amazon, or if you prefer PDFs, you can pick that up at coffee.com/Raven. That's RAVVYN, in case you can't see chat. Also, Die Hard Dice, they sell amazing polymer and metal dice sets and accessories. They have just phenomenal products and are all around really nice people that work over there, so I highly recommend checking that out. dieharddice.com. If you use the code BlackFeather, all one word with a capital B, you can get 10% off your entire order. And I highly recommend checking out the Winter's Embrace Dire D20. It's something that I've been using so far this season for some rolls. It's a really big metal D20 it's heavy and it just feels really satisfying to roll. Highly recommend picking up a dice tray for that, because it is very heavy, so it will definitely impact a table if you don't have a mat underneath of it. But they have some cool stuff for that as well. There's a link right to that particular D20 in chat if you want to check that out. And then finally, if you want to catch up on this show or any others that we have on the channel or have had in the past on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. You can find Black Feather Guild back here again on Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for Elite Bebeskar. We ended with quite a cliffhanger last week on that one, so you'll absolutely want to make sure you come by and check out how that resolves on Thursday. And then, yeah, I will see you then. We're going to go raid Weave the Tale, another fantastic channel and community. Highly recommend giving them a follow if you're not doing so already. And I will see you on Thursday. Bye, everybody.